Hello everybody. I'm 2 minutes early, so I'm just going to give y'all a minute to come on in and hang out with us. Woohoo! Alright, get ourselves all set up here. Okay. Oh, pickles. Oh. Good news, I may have fixed my Behance so people can I can actually see when people are going to live stream, which is fabulous. So I was able to watch some streams this weekend, which is great. Come here, Gracie. You say hi to everybody. Say something, Joe. Where's your booger? Boop, boop, boop. You ready, bud? Alrighty. Oh, look at that. That's going to be so good. My goodness. Look, O'Dari's here. He says hello. This way. Alright. We're Instagram Live. Hello, everybody. Okay. I came on early, so I just want to make sure that everything's set up. How's everybody doing tonight? Hello, O'Dari. I caught your stream yesterday. Living for this Spooktober. That was a really fun illustration. You did a lot in a short period of time. Did I spill some dinner? I did spill some dinner. How sloppy. Good Lord. What a guy. But yeah, no, the Spooktober was so fun. I also know that Inktober is well underway. It's very busy this weekend updating the shop. So I'm going to be playing. I'll talk about that a little bit later when we have some more people on, so I don't have to. Those of you who are here nice and early aren't going to listen to me repeat myself over and over again. But yeah, so it's a busy weekend. So I'm going to be catching up on Inktober this week. Yeah, it was a busy chat yesterday. Yeah, I try and say hello, but then some people were all just chatting away. It was a good group last night. I mean, yesterday afternoon. Whenever it was. Everything's upside down right now. I'm trying to catch up on everything. Okay, so even though the weekend was full of shop update madness, I was able to work a little bit on our mister here. I did not finish all the highlights. I did a few. Let's see. Worked on a few things. So you can see. Oh, that's because that's the wrong one. That's why. So you can see I did some highlights in our brown backgrounds. And then I did some around on the horns and the feathers. It's not huge, as much drama as on the red, but that's okay. Because I don't want to be competing too much. Excuse me. Are you going to come play with us? Because you were just playing with us. Come here. Oh, you're a goof. Okay, settle, bud. Lie down. Excuse me. I'm talking to the people. He settles. He knows if he does a trick, he gets a treat. He's taking advantage of our training. That's what he's doing. But now he'll chill out. Okay, so what I am going to do, because you can see I did a little bit of highlights and stuff on the horns, and it's kind of nice. I've been using the same color for those across the top, which is unifying them a little bit better, which is really nice to see because they weren't really unified. I didn't find without it. And they weren't popping as much. So the highlights are really helping with that. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm almost done those, and because I'm going to change the color of the brush to do something else, I want to make good and sure that I have at least these top horns done. And then we will go on to some of the finer details like I promised last week. Okay, so let's see. So we'll just do a couple of these. It's just this one feather on the right and then the other two horns. Excuse me, monsieur. You're doing fine, buddy. You're just fine. Okay? You can come sit with me, or you're going to come sit with everybody? No, you can't just keep doing our trick. That's a rule. Come here, buddy. Okay. Good boy, settle. He's too smart for his own good. So we train the no barking to come and sit. When he comes on his bed, that's right beside me when I'm working, he gets a treat. Now he just does it. He'll be like, look at me, like the weebling you're hearing. And then he'll jump on his bed and be like, I got a treat now. This guy, he's too smart for his own good, I tell ya. All right. So again, the colors that we're using here for the highlight are really giving a really great glow effect, which I really appreciate, because it's making me more confident in the outcome, as well as excited about some of the finer details we want to play with today as well. So what I'm going to do, we'll do these last horns, and I'll do the rest of the highlights another day. I just want to make sure that we are in the right space. Huh. Oh no, I clicked the thing. I always click the thing. Don't click the thing. Sheesh Louise. Me and the computers this week, I tell ya. Okay, I'll stop clicking now. Good Lord. Okay. So I did find that the highlight was a little bit light on these horns here, but I think that's going to be okay. It gives it a little bit of a jump, and you might not notice it necessarily when you're working, like when you're looking at it. I see a highlight there, but it's giving it a little bit of bounce in relation to the other pieces. So even though it might not be super noticeable, it's definitely helping the illustration out a little bit. And like I said earlier, it's good because I don't want these to be competing too much. I think like when I was doing some of the Kraken and all that kind of stuff, I worried a little bit that things were getting a little too competitive. So in this case, I really want the red to pop because it kind of looks like scales. So I really want that to be our number one piece for sure. So these being a little bit more subtle in highlights in comparison to the red is fine with me. Excuse me, you come sit with me? We were just hanging out, bud. Goodness me. And this will help some of this bit here, that shadow that I messed up. But it's okay. It makes it magical. Excuse me, we have to get Mojo. Okay, Book, come here, buddy. No, we're gonna play later. Come here. Come hang out with the lad. Watch the dragon. Oh, watch the dragon. Look at all these people here to say hello to you. Look at you, lucky duck. They say they're here for the art, but they're probably just here for a cool Mojo glimpse. Gonna lie down under the blanket bed. Just lie down. On your bum. Yeah, all the treats are up here, but so you're gonna have to wait. No, excuse me. Sit on your bum, please. Can you sit on your bum, please? We will play with that guy later, okay? So, my mom came for a visit last week, and it was really awesome. It was a really great visit. But Mojo got a treat. And his treat is this really fun toy that, like, you just, like, it looks like this. But when you squish it, it has a ball in its mouth. When you squish it, it shoots the ball, so he goes and fetches it. It's his very favorite toy. And it's sitting right on my drafting table. So this could be a long life. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, so we have those there, but I really want to put a new, just normal layer. I really just want to remember this shade, because that's going to be my overlay, because we're going to come back to that, and I want to make sure I get the right one. And if you can take a look at this, there's a lot of browns, and I'm going to pick the wrong one. Hi, Jay. We are working on this dragon today. What are you making today? This is in Adobe Fresco. We've been working on this illustration for quite some time. Everybody's been very patient with the build here, but it's been very exciting to watch. So today is actually the last live for this guy. I'm hoping to get him posted. I'm up in Canada, so we've got Canada Thanksgiving this weekend. So I'm going to hopefully post him before the weekend or just after. So we're going to do some final touches today. This is our magical stained glass dragon. All right, so I just wanted to get that down so I knew I had the right ones, because we do have still some tan bits here that need some highlights and things, but because the highlight is so light, it's gonna be really dry for you guys. I really want to work on some details too here. So some of the details we were working on, we threw in some of these shadows early. This is usually the last stage that I put in, but for those of you who are newer to this piece, I really wanted to put them in and make sure that I was judging the hierarchy. I was picturing it right in my head, and it turns out I was. But I want to continue with these today because these really make, this final touch with these shadows really makes the illustration pop and adds the drama. And this, like I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, this is kind of like the first one that really has that kind of papery feel, like a real depth, and you can really see the space between the layers. So I'm going to think about that moving forward with some of the next pieces, because this is the effect I've been trying for, and it's really coming through in this piece. Nice, very impressive piece. Thank you, Jay. I am very proud of this. This is a beast in more ways than one. It's an 18 by 24. So we've had to reduce the file a couple times. You can see at this layer at the bottom here, that has all of our patterns and everything in it. I put them all in a raw file, and it bogged Fresco down, actually to the point of crashing it on a live once. So I had to reduce the file, merge them all together so that we were able to work on this. So I didn't just do one little dot and then you watched it spin for the whole hour here. Okay, so what we want to do, okay, I want to make this another multiply layer, and I want to see, now, what did this is usually why I do everything at once, because I usually forget what colors I use for my highlights and my shadows. So usually I'll do all the shadows, all the highlights, all the everythings. But for this guy, I've been bouncing back and forth a little bit, which is working out okay. I just want to make sure that we're being a little consistent here. Okay, so I want this to be a bit bigger. We're going to give him some darker shadows in some of these different areas here. So these are going to make some of these pieces pop. Now some of this might not make sense. Again, she said drawing a stained glass dragon. But I really want the nose ring to pop, so I'm going to give it a shadow, even though it kind of looks like it's part of one piece there. We're going to do it anyway. So this is on its own layer, so non-destructive, which is super great for me. And then we will just clean up some of this mess here. So all I want to do is start beefing up some of these parts of the illustration that are giving that layer effect, really popping it up off the page, and kind of putting some final touches. I have some ideas for his real eyes, which I'm very excited to try today. So an effect that I usually want to try on the final touches and have vetoed so far, but I think we really want to do it on our lovely dragon today. Oh my goodness. So it's been, Mojo, you get your guys, okay? We'll play in a little bit here, being a very good boy. So been a very busy week. If you've been following me on the socials, you'll see that my shop got updated. So last year I sold the coloring books. I'm going to go through a lot more of this detail later on. We just want to get some drawing done right now. But we did a lot of the, I sold coloring books last year. This year I'm expanding into, excuse me. You're fine, buddy. I'm trying to tell the story, okay? So this year I have a new coloring book. And then I also have lots of other things. Stickers, pins, gift cards. Well, not gift cards, sorry. Like greeting cards and shirts, hoodies. It's a big deal. So I'm going to show you a bunch of that stuff after we're done here for a little bit more. But yeah, that took up quite a bit of my week. A couple vendor things to get some information I had to wait on. A couple of my vendors ran into some personal family things, so I just had to wait for the information, but I have it now and we're up and running. So that took up a lot of my resources and energy this week, but I get to work on this guy now, which is super great. And I'm actually thinking of trying, and the people who have met me are laughing a little tiny bit. I'm going to try and slow down a little bit. I feel like in the summer was a little bit busy. Oh, I don't want to do that. Okay, the summer was a little bit busy. And then I've been building up towards the shop and everything. I still have some stuff I have to get done for that. But the big stuff is done. But I just kind of want to like enjoy the fall. Like I feel like September blasted past. Like if you asked me last week, I would have put money that this week was still September. Despite, I journal every day and I write the date and everything. And I would have bet solid, serious money that there was still a week left in September. And there isn't. It's October now. So I just don't want the rest of the year to go by too fast because this is my favorite time of year. So I really just want to enjoy it. And now that the shop's kind of up and everything, I have a couple things before the holidays I want to work on. And then we will relax. So yeah, I'm trying to slow down a little bit, which is why I'm pondering different approaches to Inktober. Hey, Moj. Do you want to maybe like leave the neighbors alone? Hey, nope, Mojo. That baby literally does that every day. Come here. On your bed, please. Now settle. Thank you. So yeah, Inktober. So I talk about that quite a bit here because it was like it's Max is in October and Inktober is in October. And those I give a lot of credit for kind of kickstarting my studio stuff in the pandemic. Because Max was whoa, we do not want to animate this. I want to animate this. I just don't know how. That's what all those dots were a second ago. So it was like, because of the pandemic, Max was virtual, giving all the rest of us who've never been access to it. Neighbors are going to... Hang on a sec. Can you just leave them alone? Thanks. Hey! Excuse me? Come here right now. Thank you. Enough. Please. Settle. Enough. Thank you. So I was watching that for the creativity things, and then I've watched... I did Inktober to get myself back into it. Can you give it up, please? I need like 45 minutes. Lie down, please. Settle. Settle. Enough. Leave them alone. Settle, please. Mojo, come on. On your bed. Now settle down. Anyway, so I was, so those were like our big credits. So like I did Inktober that year, and it kind of really kicked things off to be getting me back in my studio and getting the creative juices flowing and all that kind of stuff. Because I'd been in school before, or like working or whatever else, and I'd just never done it. So I've done it for the past 2 or 3 years now. And then I did, sorry guys, he's just in the mood today. So I did it for a couple of years. So I really wanted to do Inktober again this year because I really think it's a really good opportunity. I like Odari's Spooktober that he's doing is an opportunity to go back to traditional for a little bit, because a lot of us on the live streams lately have been very digital. And I think I did that one year. Was like I made sure there was no theme other than like it had to use markers or pencils and crayons and things like that. So I think that's a great opportunity. But I think given the shop update and the holidays coming and everything, I think I'm getting a little close to a creative tap out. So I don't want to drain all my resources trying to get 31 illustrations done in a month. So I think what I'm going to do, I saw in the comments, I think I mentioned this last week. I saw in the comments someone was going to try and do writing. So use the prompts as a writing thing. So I have this. I have a couple of books like this, but this one's called Complete the Story. And it's like 300 or however many writing prompts. I got this a while back when I wanted to get into journaling and stuff. And I've done a few stories, but not a lot. I'm thinking of combining like Inktober quotes and then the prompts for these stories. So like this one was like, it just starts the sentence off. So the day was scorching hot and bone dry. And so you kind of write the story. So I might combine those and then kind of use a different side of my creative brain for a few days. But we'll see. We'll see. I want to be creative. I want to participate in Inktober. But I think now that the shop's up, I do worry about burnout, to be perfectly honest. So I got to be careful. Okay. So I want to go back to this. So a big one is these big, heavier shadows under the circles. So I'm going to add this. I don't need that much. I think that's going to be a little bit crazy. Hey, Moj. What's the matter? Okay. So we want to do this because this ring is on the outside. It's just kind of like an outer ring as an accent piece. Can I help? Can you come with me? Come here, please. Dude, I'm doing the live. Come here, please. Enough. You're fine, buddy. Okay? Those people are not coming in. So the ring is kind of just like an accent. It's becoming kind of a feature that's in all of these illustrations. So I want to make sure I'm treating it kind of similarly. Oh, let's just increase that a little bit. We're going to be here all day. Actually, let's bring that back down and switch to, is this the other one I had? Yeah, that's what I want. That's much easier. Come here, monsieur. Come here, buddy. What is the matter, buddy? I cannot be in both places at once. Come here, please. Sorry, guys. It's a little bit, what's the matter? I know you want to play, but this is what we're doing right now. Okay? This is really fun. Okay? You're fine. We'll play with that guy in a minute. Oh, let's just make sure the gram can see, yeah? Okay, there we go. Oi, 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 oi. You're a lot. There we go. There we go. That's such a good boy. So yeah, Inktober coming. New illustration for this series coming. I'm very excited about. Not a mythical creature this time. At least not yet. I haven't done the sketch for it yet, but we'll see. You never know. A mermaid might show up or something. You never know. Unicorn. Something. Who knows? Okay. So yeah, it doesn't look like a huge impact, but when we do this, oh, it's not actually not as dark as I thought it would be. It gives us that little bit of a sliver, that little bit of separation from the back. Dragon. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to run an experiment. So the new one, new layer, and I want it to be under this, and okay, so I want these to be glowing eyeballs. So I'm using in my head some of what I've been seeing in how the different lights react. Okay, can we just turn this off for a sec? Yeah, let's do that. And we will do this. So I've been watching how some of the, excuse me, buddy, please leave the neighbors alone. They just want to live their lives. Enough, bud. Excuse me. You're fine, buddy. Okay, look. The door's locked. Let's do the live. So while I've been building these stained glass pieces, I've been watching how some of the different settings on my brushes have been interacting or causing different effects. I've been commenting on how much I like that the, good Lord, how some of the brushes are making it kind of look like it's glowing. So I'm trying to kind of pay attention to what I'm using and the colors I'm using when that happens, so I can try and recreate it here. So we'll see what happens. First, I want a bit of a base down because some of the interaction features I'm going to use are the overlays, and if I overlay over the white, nothing's going to happen. So I just want this kind of base. I'm not picking a fancy color for right now. I don't know if that's going to matter. I think the brushes that we're going to use and the colors we're going to use, we'll add those for us. Okay, because I don't know, I'm going to add another layer here. That was just a normal layer in Fresco. I did not make it any sort of blend feature. This one, however, I am going to start with a multiply effect, I think, and then I'm gonna do nope, we're gonna try an overlay instead. This is where the experimentation fun comes in. I want to do, no, this is the wrong brush, first of all. Second, I'm not getting the effect I was thinking of. There we go. Okay, so if I do this, I will walk you through this when I see the effect I'm looking for, I promise. So I do want to make sure that all of these pieces, at least of the eye, are covered. With the lasso, I want to be a little bit more accurate with this one than in comparison to what I've been doing. And we can see that that lights up really nicely. I'm going to bring the brush down a little bit in size. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a glow here. I'm not lifting my pencil yet. Lifted. And now we'll do this. So the reason why this is happening, and I'm going to do some changes in a sec because I have a better idea. The reason why that's happening is because on my brush, so remember our layer is an overlay layer. So it's going to kind of interact underneath, but generally lighten what's happening. But my brush, my effects on my brush is a multiply. So that means what you see me do in the past, especially with the shadows and things, if I put down a brush, a stroke of paint per se, digital paint, lift my pencil and put it down, it's going to darken as if I'm adding kind of more pigment to it. So this is kind of darkening the brush on the layer, but then the layer is also kind of lightening what's happening down below. It's a lot, but it's a really cool effect that I've been getting some really cool results with because of, it looks like kind of like it's glowing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this layer off for now, and then I'm going to go back down here because I think this will actually look really cool if the eye starts red. So let's, instead of the tan. So let's see what happens when I turn this back on. Shoot, okay. So what if I do, she's not giving me the effect I was hoping for. No, not what I wanted. This, please. Overlay. Okay, just as long as you just settle down, bud. Okay, leave the neighbors alone. Okay, this is too dark, so let's do this. There we go. Okay, there's still lots I want to do here, so don't freak out on me yet. Okay, so let's select multiple layers. And now duplicate the layers and then transform the layers. Mirror the layers. I know we have a little bit of the other one here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to erase. Excuse me. I'll erase this so that it's not in our way anymore. So we'll have the select multiple layers, 2, 3, and then we'll transform. It'll be much easier to work with. Oops. There we go. So because it's kind of a cool effect, but I also kind of landed on it by accident. I'm cheating a little bit. I duplicated the layer so that we get the same effect on both eyes. And then I'm going to just clear out some of these details that we don't need. So this one first. Let's erase these. Oh dear, that is a very large brush. That's 6 might be a little bit ridiculous. Let's bring it back. So this is just a base. So something like this, like the eyes and all that, the eyes are really important, I find, to an illustration, just kind of like hands. There's a lot of like personality to them. So I try and make sure that they get their due. I try not to like put the eyes in at the last minute and just kind of let them talk to themselves. I try and make sure. So there's going to be a lot of layers here. Okay, so if I put this back up here, so we're going to layer that down. So, okay, so that's a good start. I'm going to add another layer. Hi, Chris. I need inspiration. Well, if you are sketching something, you can draw a dragon with me. Here, let's put this layer back on. You get the full effect here. Woohoo! Oh, damn, that's nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're working in fresco today, and we have much work to do. Okay, so this layer here, I'm going to turn this back off because, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll turn it back on. Make sure I'm working on the right layer. So this is going to be an overlay. And let's just see if I just go with, like, I think a white might be really intense, but I think we also need some intensity, especially around the edges here. Okay, so let me maybe bring it down a bit. So I was saying the eyes are kind of like really important and stuff. So there's going to be a lot of layers to these. I'm going to just kind of keep trying and adding things and working through them because it's going to be, even though they're really hidden, especially with this deep shadow, it needs the right effects. So what I'm kind of going for is that these are glowing eyeballs. He's got some like fire within, and it's all coming, like, it's just kind of like percolating inside. So he's got lots of fire going. Fresco's been showing some potential. I've been trying to push it. So fresco is quickly becoming a very strong favorite in my house. in studio. Now why? Don't give me what I want. And then, where's the normal one? This is the normal one. So I just want to pop, I use Illustrator. I love Illustrator. So Illustrator was my first Adobe product, and I live in it quite a bit. It's a great software. I usually use it in a combination with, well, depending on what I'm doing, in a combination with Photoshop, sometimes InDesign, depending on what we've got going on. But Fresco the past few years has had kind of exactly what I needed, or most of it, because it's letting me play around and experiment with all this fun. Whoa! Oh, I know why. I was like, why was I able to erase on one eye, not the other? Because one's on a different layer. That's why. Sorry. No, Fresco has been showing lots of very exciting things that I'm thoroughly enjoying. And it gives me that kind of, I can do a vector piece. Like all the line art you see here is vector line arts, and I've been able to keep it that way, the way I built the file this time. But then I'm able to kind of do that Photoshop-y work, which is amazing. Really, it's a different workflow with an iPad. I completely agree. Whether you're talking Fresco or Illustrator, I don't use Illustrator on the iPad as often because I learned it from the desktop, so I'm just not as comfortable with it on the iPad, but I just also haven't practiced with it. Alessandra, hello! I forgot to update Discord again. Girl, I'm so sorry. I was just talking about how I want to slow down a little bit, so that will be one thing that I definitely help you with soon. Caught up with dishes again. Those darn dishes, I tell you, Alessandra, the worst. They're never done. They're never done. It's so frustrating. I hear ya. Illustrator desktop, Fresco iPad. That's my workflow right now. I know that there is definitely Illustrator on the iPad. I just haven't used it very often. I used it a little bit for one of the previous illustrations, just because I wanted to get the line art just the right way. But I'm just not as comfortable with it just yet. I like the shortcuts. I'm a clicky. Yeah. Alrighty. So we're playing a bunch. So Alessandra, we're working on some of the final details here of the dragon. And I'm just kind of playing around with like a bajillion layers here to get these eyes just right. So I want this really cool glowy effect that we've been kind of getting with the highlights and the darks that we see. So I really want to try and continue to build that up here without getting too messy. So I'm working with a lot of layers. Working on my zines. I did 8 so far, 12 more to go. This file must be huge. 12 more. My goodness, girl. That's a lot of work. And yes, this file is huge. Actually, just before you came on, I was talking about how I had to, early on, after we did the patterns and everything, you'll see there's a layer down here where all of the patterns are merged together. Because when they were separate, the file was so big, I would do a couple brush strokes and it would crash Fresco. And it was just a lot. So I had to crush it down. So I do have the raw file outside. I have to go back and get a few things out of it. But this file is ginormous. And it also doesn't help that I made it 18 by 24. So this is a huge poster. It's huge. It's letting me get the detail, but yes, I'm being very careful to not lose it. So far it's been performing pretty well because it's mostly the shadows in this file. But yeah, the patterns definitely take up a lot of space. Have a good iPad. Mine would have crashed by now. I upgraded my studio equipment a couple years ago, so it was a relatively recent iPad, and I'm a bad iPad owner. I can't recall what chip was in this one, whether they got to the M's yet or not. It's not a Pro. It's an iPad Air. So I can actually show you. Ah, and it's green, which is magic. So it's iPad Air, not the most recent one, the one just before it. And I try and use it for only this purpose so that it can handle my chaos. Okay, now this is coming out a little green, so I'm not really living for that. So I think with all the shadows, we're just going to go back to white. I'm just trying to put some accents in here so that we can... The light's coming, doesn't really matter. I don't think where the light's coming from. So this is just a normal layer, but because we have so much interacting over top, it's kind of like, it's creating that kind of muddy color. So this is white that I'm putting down here. It's just because the shadows on top and everything that's kind of working on top of it. I'm actually going to move this above this. We have a bit of a muddy situation. So it's okay. It's giving us that kind of glowy effect that I'm kind of hoping for here. It's just a little bit big. So we're going to do this. Actually, what did that do? Huh. Intriguing. Okay, so then maybe instead we'll do this. Why? Oh, I know why. Oh my goodness. All these layers. Crown for my teeth today. Second one. Yikes. That's dramatic day. Oh my goodness. Gotta love a day at the dentist. Sheesh. Okay, so what I'm thinking, we're gonna get some serious drama up in here. Not quite getting what I'm hoping for here. So we'll experiment together. How am I doing, Alessandra? I'm doing great. So I'm going to go into detail on this in a little bit more, but I updated my studio shop this weekend. So I have a store available with Hues and Tones products, and I'm very excited. I sold coloring books last year, and they were a hit. People loved them. I was like, I'm going to sell like 10 of these, and I ended up selling over 100 coloring books, which is amazing. And then, so I have a new one for this year. Very exciting. But then I have other things, which I'll go into a little bit once we get these eyes playing the game here. So that was a lot of my weekend, filling up all that time. But it's going to be worth it. I'm very excited for the response I'm going to get. What type of coloring books? Awesome coloring books. So actually, you know what? While we're talking about it, let's take a bit of a second here. I just want to make sure that this is going to work. Still just let me get this stroke sorted out so that I can think clearly here. No, not really what I'm thinking about. So let's just do this right now. So I'm going to show you. So, things I updated the shop with. First of all, I'll show you. Oh, this way? Here it is. Oh, it's updating. So here's what the shop looks like. I have shirts and hoodies this year, which is super exciting. We have coloring books, pins, stickers, greeting cards. They're all blank cards, so you can put whatever you want in them. But, zoom in here. This is our coloring book from last year. So I built these. These are what I did for my live last year. Quite a bit of these illustrations. I have lots of coloring book age children's. Still figuring out this camera, it's backwards. In my life. And some of the moms expressed interest in having coloring books for their children's. So I had a coloring book on my plans for quite some time. And then, but they were the ones that kickstarted it, because it would have been like 4 or 5 years before I did it, and then no one would be coloring. So I didn't So I took that opportunity to actually kickstart that project. So this has 20 original illustrations done by me. We've got dragons and mermaids, and there's some seasonal stuff. We've got plants and stuff. And it's on really great paper. The printer did an amazing job because you can even color the cover. So I splurged a little bit on the quality of the prints. So I'm selling more of these this year. And then I have a new one coming out, which is going to be more of what you see today. So the dragon's going to be in here, the kraken's going to be in here, and then some of the more complex illustrations. So like the, sorry guys, I'll put the coloring book there so Instagram can also see. So things like my Mother Nature illustration, anything else, they're going to be in there this year. So I had some people who wanted to buy last year, but they thought maybe these were a little bit more for kids. I have adults who've colored it. It's not just for kids. But the illustrations you're going to find in this year's coloring book are going to be a little bit more towards an adult coloring book. There's going to be more complex illustrations, more complex little pieces. So I'm actually going to put the website, because Alessandra asked, can I do it in the chat? So you can see it right there. We also have a few things that have come into the store. We have pins, little Hues and Tones pins. And then these just came in today. Let's see. Stickers. So we have one of my personal favorites, the fortune teller. I love how she came out. The fortune teller, these are 3-inch stickers. You've got your Hues and Tones logo one. And then you have your mermaid. I'm going to put these down for the gram so they can also see. You can buy each of these individually, or you can buy them together as a bundle. Your Hues and Tones starter kit. So exciting. The coloring books are huge. So definitely take an order of those. The shirts and stuff that you see on there, those are pre-order only. I will have 0 stock of those. You can see my space. So I won't be having stock. So if you would like a sweater or a t-shirt, please order them in the next couple weeks, because they're going to be printed only to order. I won't have any extras, but the coloring books will be around. And I'm hoping to ship everything in time for Christmas. So definitely check them out. I would love to hear some feedback on them. And for the new coloring book this year, same printer, same magic, so you can color the cover and everything. I made sure that they were going to be able to do the same printing for me again this year before I even considered putting it out there that there's going to be a new coloring book. So yeah, so these are all in the shop right now. Everything you can order right now, like these are kind of pre-order. I want to know how many I need to get printed. But everything's going to ship first week of November if all goes to plan. So definitely check out the site that I have there. It's also on my Behance, on the socials. All the links are there. Send me a message if you can't find it, and then we'll hunt it down for you. Guess these coloring books won't fit on my small women jeans pockets. Oh, sad day, but there's a good idea. Bring it with you coloring book. Maybe next year. They'll be small. Actually, one thing I've been experimenting with, live stream insight, is the stickers. I've been playing with some of them, and if you use a permanent marker, you can color them. So, coming in the spring, we might have colorable stickers. Maybe. So yeah, so that is the exciting business that's happening at the Hues and Tones studio. So definitely check it out. I'm very excited to be able to offer all this magical stuff for everybody, because I just love sharing my work with everybody, and the response I've been getting has been so much fun. So if you want to check out the site, it's all here, available for purchase. And if I have it in stock already, I will mail it to you. But coloring books and shirts, those will definitely be a early November situation. So if anybody has questions, let me know. We're going to go back to the dragon that's not playing the game. So that was what kind of took over a lot of my time the past couple weeks, getting everything ready to go, getting the files ready to go. I obviously am not quite finished all the line art for the coloring book, but that's the next couple days project so that we can get those done. But they will be ready in time for coloring books, not to worry. Now, I was so hopeful for this experiment, for this dragon eyeball. It's not glowy like I want. The left eye, well, the one on the left, is kind of getting close to where I want it. Not quite. Because that affects pretty close. Okay, so you know what? I do want to keep powering through these, but I have a couple other cool things I want to try first. We'll see what happens with the eyes in a minute, because you can see what I'm going for, right, though? So the one on the left, you can see that kind of glowy effect and how it's kind of interacting with the reds and everything. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm just not getting the same thing on the right. That also could be because the shadow's way heavier over there because of the way I picked the light source. So that's a me thing. We'll find a way to make it work. But we're going to move on to a different thing that I think is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to move this on the top, I think. Yeah. So one really cool thing with fresco is there's always these really cool brushes. So a lot of these are in here by default. And again, I can't recall. I have an Adobe Suite subscription. I know some of this is limited on the kind of free version of Fresco, so I don't know how many brushes you can get, but on a paid subscription, you can use all of these brushes that are in here by default, and then all these like dated brushes. Oh, my head's in the way. Sorry. All these ones that say like spring 2022, that kind of thing. Those are ones you can add. So at the bottom, just below where you can see all of my socials, it says add brushes. You can add anything that people have posted on there like there's like collections that come out now and again, usually from Adobe artists. I haven't actually been in the library for a while, so I actually don't know what's in there, but there's lots of really cool effects. Like the winter brushes, they'll be like snowflakey ones, or fall that has some leaf ones, or just some really cool different brushes. Like the watercolor one I use quite a bit, or the splatter, and just different effects. So Fresco has a really good brush selection. So I picked the Smoke Wispy brush. I was playing around in Fresco not long ago. Well, actually, it probably was a while ago. And I just was using all the brushes to see what they do. And this is one of my favorite brushes. It makes it look like wispy smoke, and it is pressure sensitive too. So that stroke that I just did, right now I'm pushing really hard, and then as you let go, it kind of like wisps up into crazy smoke. So those are pretty close, but I'm going to try them again. So this is really cool because I could spend a lot of time trying to like recreate this or try and draw this myself, and I get frustrated because I haven't studied what smoke looks like. But now when I use this cool brush, it's going to do it for me. And it kind of reacts to how your brush is your pen is oriented. So it's giving you some of those wide effects as well, which is pretty cool. I wonder what happens if I do. Oh, there's some potential there. There's some potential. Okay, I won't right now. See, that's the glowy effect I want the eyeballs to do. This is a future Erin thing. Look how cool. So what I'm actually going to do, we'll keep that, but then I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to make that one an overlay. Didn't do much because the white's right underneath it. But then I'm going to transform this and I'm gonna flip it, move it up here so that it doesn't look the same. gives that cool glowy effect. Fun. See, this is what I like to bring to the live. Experimentation, bud. Okay, and then we'll come down here. We have a couple little pieces we want to erase. Oh, for those of you who are watching on Instagram, I'm so sorry. The shop URL is Hues. It's HUES TONES.square.site. There's a link in my bio. Actually, if you go in there, you can click on that and go through right to the site. For a moment, I forgot today was a Monday. Could be good if you're having a Monday. Could be bad if you thought it was, you know, Friday or something. I had the radio station. I actually, like, this is when I used to use Twitter. I had a tweet once to the radio station because they had, like, a Friday night song, like the Katy Perry one or something, on the radio station. But it was definitely, like, a Tuesday. And I was like, that was not cool. Don't do that. Oh, man. Guys, something's coming together. I'm loving it. I wonder if we create an empty mask, and what if we hide, not the wispy, although the wispy would be really cool. Guys, okay, so this is why one experiments, this is why one keeps going, and this is why I love doing this on the live. So, for those of you who didn't see what happened, I created a mask for the eye. What I was going to do was I was just going to hide away some of the shadow and see if it started to glow. But I still had the smoky, wispy brush chosen. So the way the mask works, usually the way you'll see me do it, is with a hard round brush, because I'm just clearing out a solid piece. However, you could use the soft brushes that I've been using for like the shadows and the highlights, and it would just kind of give that gradient effect instead. Or you can use a smoky, wispy brush to hide away some of your shadows and make your glowy eye look like it's on fire. So all this is doing is hiding away, like we're used to seeing. Oh my God. Oh man. So this is hiding it, but using that smoky eye effect. Guys, I'm going to freak out. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. So I'm hiding away some of the shadows using the effect. So the overlays and stuff that we were building are coming out in a really cool effect, but I'm using the smoky eye. Oh, that's too much, I think. We'll do this eye again. How's that? And then this is a way I can balance out some of what I've seen. So I could just do a little bit less here because that effect I'm screaming on the inside. Oh my God. Okay. I'm calm. So what if I move? Oh, redo what I did. Undo what I did. Nope, I like what I had. Holy cow. No, Mojo, leave those neighbors alone, please. You're... Shh. So this is the white one. So all I want is a tiny... Okay, sorry. I want a tiny little... Oh, that's wrong brush. 96 is really high, but we'll do this. That's really high. Let's try again. I just want a little highlight on this. Still too high. Holy F. Okay. Okay, so I'm loving the effect. Up nice and close right here. So I like the effect of the eye itself, but I think given the recess of where the eye is sitting and how deep it is in there, we're getting lost. We're losing the eyes, and all we have are the illusion eyes that are a little drunky faced still. So what I want to do is add some glows that come on the outside. Excuse me. Let them be. No, you come here right now. You're so vocal today. You have something to say? No? Okay. Okay, so we're going to take advantage of some of this. See if we can't add a little bit more of a glow, because there is not much separation. The eye is very red. There's not much separation between the eye and everything else. It looks a little almost too realistic, if that makes sense. And this, I have a little bit of freedom with this because the light source is the eye. So we'll see how this goes. Just leave them be, bud. Excuse me. He's not a good listener today, guys. So sorry. Nuts. I think we're going a little too crazy. What if I tried? Excuse me. Leave them alone, buddy. Not white, maybe yellow. And I want it to be big. We're getting close. I think we're getting close, guys. So this experimentation comes with like a lot. So I really want this to be under these shadows. Now what did that do? Maybe not. I don't. Maybe I don't. Yeah, we want it on top. So let's erase some of this. Oh, no. That just added a stroke. Okay. Sorry. Excuse me. What are you doing? Leave them alone, you goose. Sheesh Louise. What a guy. Oh my god. So I'm living for how these eyes are turning out. But I worry that they don't really fit with the rest of the effect. But that's the glow I was hoping for. That's the interaction with the colors I was looking for in the beginning. There we go. Something crazy is happening. Okay. Now I want this on top though. No, I don't. Sad day. So this is all the fun experimentation. This is what the end result of an illustration will look like for me, guys. It's always trial and error, and my layer structure just is out the window. It does not exist. Oh, first let's clean this up because I will forget. And then let's get this in here. No, I want this in here. Oops, let's pull that back a touch. Guys, I legit had no idea how this was going to come out. I knew the look I was looking for and just didn't really... I wanted to use what I've been learning, but this is out of control. Oh my God. More lasso, please. There we go. Thank goodness for a live stream so I can go back and figure out how the heck I did this. Oh my God. Okay, so I do want a very little, not big, little. Not quite. Actually, maybe I'll put it on littler, please. I just want a little bit of an edge here, just to separate it out, to help that line out a little bit, because the line that's around the eye is getting a little bit lost with all this effect here. Okay, and then while I'm figuring this out, quick, Odari, what's the Spooktober word of the day? I could look it up, but that's not fun. I think the Inktober word today is spiders. So I might be writing a spider story later. Holy hell, okay. Who's drawing this right now? Good Lord. Guys. So this, where is this layer? Not that one. See, this is where my layers get out of control, and I gotta find them. So I wonder if I can... copy selection. Paste the selection, but then like bring it down like, and then where's my mask? Oh, not reveal. Oh shoot, where's my... Okay. I'm just trying to make sure that I have, even though they're different shadows and stuff, I'm trying to see if I can get these eyes somewhat similar. Okay, so it's got a good glow to it if I do that. Let's see if we can't. Oops. Wrong kind of brush, bro. Because this is under more shadow on the right here. I just want a little bit more of that kind of glowy effect. So that they kind of look like they're matching. I'll hide this. Screenshot this because, oh my God. So I think I gotta up my game on some of the details here with those magical eyeballs. I want to make now like the big nose ring looks kind of boring. So I think if I give it a little bit of an effect to make it look like kind of like a gold a little bit, pop it a little bit, nothing to the level of the eyes right now, because I really don't want them to be overshadowed at all. But I definitely want to bring everything up to their level, because if I don't, I don't want them to just look out of place where they are. Oh, that's absolutely not what I wanted you to do. What layer is this? Oh, the wrong one. Oh, I put the shadow on this one. That's not great. That's okay. All right. All right, we have made some very wicked progress here. Sorry, I think I'm losing Instagram. Give me 1 second here, guys. No! I lost my Instagram live stream. Sad day. Thank goodness all the rest of us are here. Okay. So we've made some wicked progress. These eyes are well underway, and we've discovered some pretty crazy things. I really want to play, we have the smoke here, but I also would like to try and recreate some of that kind of fiery smoke effect kind of in the mouth. I want him to look like he's kind of just ready to breathe some fire. So I'm going to bring some of that down to the mouth too, at least kind of look like it's glowing. And then we got to finish all the highlights and everything else. But I think this is going to be perfect work for post-shop updates. For me this week. Holy cow. So yeah, I'm living for this. But I've taken up enough of everybody's evening. So let's hit save. I lost already an Instagram live. Let's not lose this. So thank you everybody who has tuned in today. We've got Odari, Alessandra, we got Chris, Jay. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody who's on Facebook, everybody who's on YouTube, all those lovely humans. But this is coming together really nicely. So I'm going to continue using some of these effects. I'll probably be watching, and I'm probably watching this stream again so I can figure out what I did. But there's a lot to come here. So, but we're past our deadline already on this guy, so I want to make sure I wrap them up respectfully. But I'm going to be back tentatively next Monday. We do have Canada Thanksgiving on Monday, but I should be here to do a live. So if something changes, keep an eye on the socials. But generally, I will be here 7 p.m. Eastern on all the socials. I'm lurking, but my brother and I are watching and are loving it. Oh, thank you so much, guys. I love it so much when everybody tunes in and to watch it and gives their feedback and everything, and when things eventually turn out. See, 5 more minutes. I was going to give up on those eyes entirely and move on to something else and not do anything. And look, 5 more minutes. Look what it did. Magic. So, magical. So just give everything 5 more minutes, guys, and it'll come together. So I will be back on Monday with another live stream. I don't know if we're going to be jumping right into the next illustration yet. I don't know how far I'm going to get during the week because I do have to prep for travel and everything, but we will be doing something fun for sure. And maybe we'll show you the finished piece of this for sure. But in the meantime, as always, please follow the stream, follow the socials, all that kind of fun magic. Please check out the shop if you're interested at all. No pressure, but if you're interested, I'd love to share my art with everybody. So check it out there. Everything is that's available right now is up, and I'm hoping to be a bit, like, depending on how the response goes, I might do this a little bit more regularly. But for now, all my favorite things, coloring books, shirts, sweaters, and stickers are all up there for you to purchase should you be interested. But for now, I'll let you all get on with your evening. Again, thank you so much. You're the best, and I'll catch you all in a week. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.